JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Major stories in the news tonight. Alleged St. James gangster killed in St. Mary. Truck driver dies after vehicle plunges into gully in Portland. Government cuts JUTC fares, and the government proposing to increase penalty for illegal firearm and ammunition. First up, alleged St. James gangster killed in St. Mary. A man believed to be one of 13 gang members behind a series of murders within the communities of Salt Spring and the Flower Hill in St. James was shot and killed by the police in Mason Hall, St. Mary on Wednesday morning. The police ordained Barrett, otherwise called Jungle, of Birdhill Meggy Top, was linked to a double murder committed outside the Salt Spring Primary School in St. James just over a month ago. Barrett, who has been on the police's radar, was reportedly found in the quiet St. Mary community during a pursuit operation by the St. James and St. Mary Police. Commanding officer in charge of St. James, Senior Superintendent of Police Vernon Ellis said. Ellis said a pistol was recovered during the confrontation, which led to Barrett's death about 4 a.m. "I have gone to his house in Birdhill 36 times and didn't find him," SSP Ellis stated, adding that with 2 of the 13 alleged gangsters out of the way, he would continue to pursue the remaining 11 men. One of the alleged gang members is in police custody in connection with the killing of 2 students who were shot in a taxi. The 13 gangsters are from Birdhill, Scott Yard, Halls Lane and Flower Hill, and we're not going to stop until we find them, Ellis promised. Ellis said the police believe a few have also fled to St. Elizabeth and is hoping that law-abiding citizens in these areas will give them up. His comments come hours after the state of emergency, which went into effect on November 8, ended in the parish. There has been no major crime in the parish since the measure was imposed. Meanwhile, ACP Clifford Chambers said the murders of which Barrett was being sought ignited a major feud in the Salt Spring area of St. James. Truck driver dies after vehicle plunges into gully in Portland. A delivery man who fell over a precipice at Cooper's Hill in Portland on Tuesday afternoon has been confirmed dead. Residents recovered the body of Alfonso Thompson from a ravine about 9:30 Wednesday morning. It's reported that around 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, Thompson was making a delivery in the area when he misjudged the narrow stretch of roadway and the vehicle went over the precipice. Tony King, a resident of Cooper's Hill, said Thompson was from the Friendship community and was well known. He said the construction of a guardrail or wall along the roadway is long overdue.
The road is very bad. It need to fix. It need to rectify. If I look at this place, it should have been done long time. Not wait until something happen.
When I say it should have been done long time, what you talk about?
The wall should have been built here long time.
2 other men who were aboard the truck escaped injuries. Member of Parliament for West Portland, Darrell Voss, said the road through Cooper's Hill will be rehabilitated under the constituency-based mitigation and cleaning program announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
There is, as we speak, a contract for $20 million, which includes that road leading up to Dumfries from Hope Bay all the way to Cooper's Hill, which will include bushing, drain cleaning, and patching of the road. So that will start within the next week or 2 as part of the Christmas program just recently announced. And it is a road that carries a lot of water based on the rainfall up there. So it's very difficult to maintain in terms of the road surface.
Teen feared drowned in Westmoreland River. A teenager is feared to have drowned after he met into difficulties while swimming with his friends at the Carburetor River in Big Bridge, Westmoreland on Monday evening. He has been identified as 18-year-old Junior McCoy, a construction worker of a Manchester address. Police and residents of the area searched the waters on Monday following the incident and all day Tuesday to no avail. One of McCoy's friends, who had gone swimming with a now missing teen, said that he heard when McCoy called out to him for help. I swim off before him and turn back at the boat, and when me I come back, him chuck off and go out, and me see him swim go out. Then him say me foot can't touch dirt, and me swim off back for go save him, the teen, who identified himself as Demarley, said. He noted that his attempt to save McCoy was unsuccessful. When me reach out, me can't touch him either. Me not there nowhere near him because the water push him go down the line, and me I sink at the same time, he recounted. He added that he then had to seek help for his friend. "And my brother that, I hope them soon find him," he said. It is understood that residents blocked the road on Tuesday as they believe There is more that the police can do to retrieve the teen's body. The search party tried, but the police said they're not equipped to dive to do any search, McCoy's mom, Denise Morgan, said on Tuesday evening. The distraught mother believes the worst has happened. All me can do, I hope them find him body and me can get it, the mother said. Police used car saga still not over. The long-running saga of the botched arrangement between the government and used car importer O'Brien's International Car Rental and Sales to provide 200 used cars for the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is still not at an end. The matter was brought up on Tuesday during a Jamaica Labour Party JLP press conference outlining plans for the party's 80th annual conference on Sunday. Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan, led the chorus regarding the JLP government's achievements since it assumed office in 2016. Among the achievements listed were the repair of 163 police stations and greater mobility for the police. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang was asked whether the matter with O'Brien's had been resolved. Not fully settled, Chang said in response. Since I've been the minister, we have bought over 600 new cars for the police, but we still have some things, few things hanging out there, which are left to be settled, and that's between the permanent secretary, procurement staff and the lawyers to work out, he continued. O'Brien's was paid nearly $427 million to procure and deliver 200 pre-owned vehicles to the JCF. The company failed to deliver all the vehicles and could not account for how $218 million was spent. In 2018, Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, was told that 66 of the cars handed over at that time failed the rigor of regular police work and were part of the JCF's administrative fleet. In 2021, it was disclosed that 30 used cars or $100 million in refunds were still due to the police. Former Minister of National Security, Robert Montague, had introduced the used car policy. Morgan said the matter must be put in context of what the JCF lacked at the time of the contract signing. We would not have to buy record numbers of police cars, ballistic vests and so on if we had inherited them. We would not have had to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on facilities such as a forensic lab for the police, such as a lab to do autopsies, infirmaries, if we had inherited them, said Morgan. Government cuts JUTC fares. The state-run Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, which is already suffering billions in losses, is to face further hemorrhaging over a 24-month period as the government is reducing bus fares beginning in January next year. However, the administration says it is giving the company $1 billion to balance out its losses over the period of the intervention to be done in 2 phases. Minister of Finance under the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, told Parliament in a statement on Tuesday that this temporary reduction in fares is part of measures by the government to dampen the impact of the announced increases in public passenger vehicle fares on the overall inflation rate.
Madam Speaker, on the 10th of October in 2023, the Government of Jamaica announced a 19% increase in public passenger fares effective the 15th of October 2023. And a further 16% increase was also announced to take effect in April of 2024. At the time of these announcements, Madam Speaker, the Minister of Science, Energy and Transportation, the Honourable Darrell Vaz, commented, and it's on the record in news reports, that the Government of Jamaica will be looking to mitigate the impact of the fare increase on consumers in a set of measures to be announced later. Madam Speaker, I will now outline these measures and the rationale for them. The Bank of Jamaica's monetary policy action, supported by prudent fiscal policy, as well as a moderation in imported commodity prices, has resulted in a sharp decline in the 12-month point-to-point inflation from a high of 11.8% in April 2022 to 5.1% in October 2023. That is, we have seen a convergence of inflation back to the target range. However, Madam Speaker, the Bank of Jamaica advises, and has advised me, that as a result of the adjustments in PPV fares, they are expecting a reversal of the downward trend in annual inflation starting in November, unless there are countervailing measures. The October inflation numbers of 5% do not include the impact of the increase in PPV fares, which will impact the November numbers. Given that the cost of transportation services comprises a notable portion of the consumer price index basket, the Bank of Jamaica further advises that the announced increases in PPV fares cumulatively could add approximately 2 percentage points to inflation if not balanced by countervailing measures. The first increase in October will directly result in a significant spike on the consumer price index, leading to a monthly inflation rate for November of between 1% and 1.5%, which in turn will increase the 12-month point-to-point inflation outturn as compared with the October result. The Government of Jamaica is very mindful of the impact of the PPV increase on the cost of living and also the need to support the Bank of Jamaica in its efforts to return and keep inflation within the 4% to 6% range. Therefore, Madam Speaker, the government will be taking measures to dampen the impact of the announced increases in PPV fares on the overall inflation rate. The central government will provide the JUTC with the resources to finance the following temporary reductions in JUTC public passenger fare charges. Effective January 1st, 2024, the reduction in the regular fare from $100 to $70, and a reduction in the fare for children from $30 to $25, and for pensioners from $40 to $30. Further, Madam Speaker, effective April 1st of 2024, a further reduction in the regular fare from $70 to $50, and in the fare for children from $25 to $20, and the fare for pensioners from $40 to $30. Madam Speaker, we anticipate that these temporary measures will have a mitigating effect on the impact of the private bus and taxi fare increases on the community and public. I wish to reiterate again that these are temporary measures designed and calculated to support the Bank of Jamaica in its efforts to return and keep inflation within the target range. And in the design and calculation, we have had calculations from the central bank that indicate that the path of inflation over the next several months will be within or near to the target range, Madam Speaker, which is what motivates this policy update. I expect these measures, Madam Speaker, as I mentioned, to be temporary, but we're giving ourselves up to 24 months, after which fares will need to be adjusted upwards and return to existing levels. This intervention, Madam Speaker, is consistent with the government's strategy of very targeted and temporary interventions. It is expected that for the period January to March of this fiscal year, this measure will cost approximately $200 million, and for the full year, April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025, the cost would be $800 million. Madam Speaker, while we recognize that this does not solve all problems associated with the expenditure to do with public transportation, this represents a concerted effort by the government which will have a positive impact on inflation outcomes and on cost of living. Madam Speaker, I would like to use the opportunity to update this House that the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service and the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology, Transportation, Minister Vaz, we're working together to advance the project, boosting the capacity of state-owned bus enterprises. When we embarked on this project, we were considering 200 new buses over 2 years. We have now upsized that to 300 new buses over the next 3 years, with the first 100 to arrive during the next fiscal year 24-25. And this is in addition to new buses that arrived this year. So, Madam Speaker, in this policy update, I just want to remind the House that this is further to the comments made by the Minister with responsibility for transport in October of this year, when he updated the country that countervailing measures would be announced. And here we have announced the countervailing measures to take effect January 1st of 2024, and the second set to take effect April 1st of 2024. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Government proposing to increase penalty for illegal gun and ammunition. The government is proposing to increase the penalty for the possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition under the Firearms Act. The existing penalty is imprisonment of a minimum 15 years and a maximum 25 years as the court considers appropriate. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the act has been tested in the courts and anomalies revealed, in particular following the recent judgment in the matter against Altali Murray. Murray was sentenced to life imprisonment after pleading guilty to illegal gun possession under Jamaica's new Firearms Act. He was ordered to serve 15 years before being eligible to apply for parole. But the Director of Public Prosecutions has noted errors in the sentencing and has filed an appeal. Dr. Chang says consideration is being given to a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years for possession of prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition, with a maximum sentence of life imprisonment.
Consideration is now being given to the penalty being a maximum sentence of life imprisonment, which was the original policy statement, with a mandatory minimum of not less than 20 years. Madam Speaker, this would mean that the court would have the discretion to impose a sentence within a range of the highest sentence being life, the lowest being 20 years. So some discretionary is left with the court, but it's a matter that we feel a strong message that to be sent out to the wider public and to those who are seeking to be involved in this kind of criminal activity. It will have some dissuasive action. As it relates to the time to be served before being eligible for parole, further consideration is also being given to oust the jurisdiction of the Parole Act and make specific provision for the person to serve 20 years before being eligible. This is a statement on policy, intention, and we will be coming to further discussion as we proceed with the legal teams.
JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.